Technology was supposed to save time, save energy, save people. Instead, people are more exhausted than ever. We work faster. We respond instantly. We compete constantly. And somehow, despite all this progress, life feels more fragile. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of a system where technology advanced, but power stayed exactly where it was. The moment digital objects became real humans have always created value out of symbols. Gold has no survival function. Money is printed paper. Status is invisible. Digital items followed the same path. At first, they were jokes, pixels on a screen, temporary rewards. But when limits were introduced, scarcity appeared. And scarcity changes how humans think. A limited item becomes special. Special becomes desirable. Desirable becomes valuable. Soon, people stopped playing for fun. They played for accumulation. When entertainment turned into labor, once value appeared, behavior changed. Players optimized strategies, tracked markets, exploited mechanics. Time invested became time worked. Entertainment quietly became labor. But unlike traditional labor, there were no protections, no contracts, no guarantees, no rights, only access. The platform always wins. No matter how skilled the player, the platform always remained above them. The platform sets supply. The platform controls visibility. The platform owns the rules. When rules change, players adapt or disappear. This imbalance is not accidental. It is structural. Digital ownership versus real ownership. In the real world, ownership survives disagreement. In digital systems, ownership ends with permission. You may spend years building something, a following, a library, a reputation, and lose it instantly. Not because you failed, but because policies changed. Platforms as silent rulers. Modern platforms do not look like governments. They have no flags, no borders, no elections, yet they govern behavior daily. They decide what is visible, what is rewarded, what is punished. Their authority is invisible, but absolute. Algorithms shape reality. Algorithms do not show truth. They show what performs, what keeps people scrolling, reacting, arguing. Reality becomes filtered through engagement. Nuance disappears. Extremes rise, not because society demanded it, but because algorithms rewarded it. AI and the transformation of work AI did not enter the workplace to empower workers. It entered to measure them. Productivity tracking, performance prediction, behavior optimization. Humans became variables inside efficiency models. Trust was replaced by metrics. Why workers feel replaceable. When output matters more than people, replacement becomes easy. AI removes friction. Humans create friction. From a system perspective, humans are inefficient. This logic does not hate people. It simply ignores them. Psychological consequences. Constant evaluation creates constant anxiety. People stop experimenting, stop resting, stop feeling safe. Burnout spreads not because people are weak, but because systems are relentless. Education lost its promise. Education once offered mobility. Now it offers survival. Degrees inflate. Credentials multiply. Competition intensifies. Students graduate into scarcity. Debt ensures compliance. Fear ensures discipline. Why the younger generation disengages. Young people are not rejecting work. They are rejecting instability. They see systems that punish effort and reward ownership. They choose flexibility because commitment no longer pays. Meritocracy broke down. Merit requires fair rules. But platforms reward attention, not contribution. Visibility beats skill. Timing beats effort. Merit becomes mythology. The return of feudal structure. Feudalism is about dependency. People rely on systems they do not control. Then it was land. Now it is platforms. Same structure. New technology. Why decentralization didn't win? Decentralization requires effort. Centralization offers convenience. Most people choose convenience. Platforms grew because they removed friction. Freedom requires responsibility. Convenience does not. Technology could still liberate. Technology is neutral. It can reduce labor, expand creativity, increase leisure, but only if benefits are shared. Without ownership reform, efficiency feeds inequality. Ownership is the core issue. Every crisis points here. Who owns the platforms? Who controls the data? Who benefits from automation? Until ownership changes, outcomes will not. power no longer needs force. Modern power is subtle. It shapes choices, limits alternatives, creates dependence. People feel free while options quietly disappear. Technology did not create inequality. It revealed it. It did not invent control, it perfected it. The future is not a question of smarter machines, it is a question of fairer systems. And until that question is answered, progress will continue to feel like pressure instead of hope. Eventually, millions. And this happened without banks, without governments, without economists planning it. Human behavior alone created value. The illusion of digital ownership. Here's the catch. None of this belongs to the players. Every transaction exists at the permission of the platform. The company can erase items, ban users, change rules instantly. There is no court, no appeal, no ownership protection. You don't own digital property. You lease access. This is not capitalism as we knew it. It's closer to medieval land ownership. The land exists. You work it. But the Lord owns it. Platforms as modern kingdom social media platforms work the same way. You create content. You attract attention. You generate engagement. But the platform owns the audience. An algorithm change can destroy a career overnight. A policy update can erase years of work. Creators are not entrepreneurs. They are digital tenants. And tenants can be removed at any time. Power without consequences, how the ultra-elite escape accountability. There is a myth we are taught from childhood. That wealth comes with responsibility. That power is balanced by accountability. That no one is above the law. But reality tells a different story. Because when power becomes extreme, rules begin to bend, institutions hesitate, and consequences disappear. This is not about one person. It is not about one scandal. It is about a system designed to protect itself. When power stops being visible, most people imagine power as something loud, presidents, CEOs, public figures, but real power is quiet. It moves through private meetings, through donations, through influence. It rarely needs to announce itself. And the more invisible it becomes, the harder it is to challenge. The network. Nobody sees. At the highest levels, power does not operate alone. It operates through networks, finance, politics, media, institutions. These networks protect each other, not through conspiracy, but through shared interest. No phone call is needed. No secret meeting is required. Everyone understands the incentives. Why scandals rarely change anything. Every few years, a major scandal appears. Documents leak, emails surface, testimonies emerge, public outrage follows, then silence. Not because nothing happened, but because consequences are negotiated. Legal teams intervene, narratives are softened, attention shifts, time becomes the solution. Money as a shield. For ordinary people, mistakes are permanent. For the powerful, mistakes are expensive. And expensive problems are solvable. Settlements replace trials, agreements replace accountability, silence replaces justice. The system does not ask what is right. It asks what is manageable. Institutions under pressure. We are taught to trust institutions, courts, governments, media. But institutions are made of people, and people respond to incentives. When cases threaten donors, investors, or political stability, pressure appears. Sometimes subtly, sometimes directly, and decisions follow. Media and the limits of coverage media plays a crucial role. But it also has limits. Ownership matters. Funding matters. Access matters. Some stories are amplified, others are minimized, not because journalists are evil, but because systems reward caution. Controversy is risky when power is involved. Why the public feels gaslit, people sense something is wrong. They see evidence. They hear denials. They watch nothing change. This creates distrust. Not toward facts, but toward systems. When truth has no impact, people stop believing that truth matters. The illusion of equal justice. The law is written as neutral, but enforcement is not. Resources determine outcomes. Time determines outcomes. Visibility determines outcomes. Justice is not blind. It is selective, and selection favors power. How influence replaces control. Modern power does not rule directly. It influences, it shapes options, frames narratives, limits alternatives. People believe they are choosing freely while choices are quietly constrained. This is efficient power. Why accountability feels impossible. Accountability requires pressure. Pressure requires unity. Unity requires clarity. But systems are complex by design. Complexity creates confusion. Confusion creates division. Division removes pressure. The system survives by exhausting attention. The cost to society. When accountability disappears, trust collapses, people disengage, cynicism grows, extremes flourish, not because people are irrational, but because fairness feels unreachable. This is bigger than individuals. Focusing on individuals misses the point. Remove one figure, the structure remains. Because the problem is not personalities, it is incentives. What real change would require? Real change is not dramatic. It is structural. Transparency, limits on influence, independent enforcement, these are boring solutions. That is why they are rare. Why the system resists reform. Reform threatens stability, and stability protects capital. When forced to choose, systems choose survival, even if trust is sacrificed. The moment we are in. We are living in an era where information is abundant, but consequences are scarce. People know more than ever, yet feel more powerless than ever. This contradiction defines our time. Final ending, slow, reflective. Power does not collapse overnight. It erodes legitimacy slowly. One ignored scandal at a time, one avoided consequence at a time. The question is not whether people will notice. They already have. The real question is how long a system can survive once belief in fairness disappears.